running. Head out on the highway, looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. Born to be wild.
Good morning, Sunday School kids. I'm so glad to see you this week. As always, I'm sorry we can't be together, but I'm glad we can be together this way. I thought we'd use this time to discuss some interesting things about the Bible. Oh, come in.
Hey, Miss Julie, how are you?
Whoa, Vito? Are you real?
Ow. Yeah, I'm real.
I'd pinch you too, but then I'd have to use this. We'll have a seat, I think. Maybe. Have a seat. Wow, you're real, I guess. Or I'm dreaming. I don't know.
I'm very real, Miss Julie.
I'm just gonna socially distance here a bit, Vito.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
Well, Super D had to leave, and he told me that I could maybe come and talk to you about being a better Christian and continuing to learn more about God and Jesus.
Wow, so Super D had, where is Super D?
He told me he had to leave and go help other people. But he said you could take it from here with me.
I guess I'd be happy to do that. It will be nice. I'm alone in this classroom, so to have some company will be great as long as you don't throw any of those viruses at me.
You mean these babies?
Yes, those babies. Just as long as you keep those away, we should be good.
I keep them with me just to help me feel safe, but I don't use those anymore, Miss Julie.
All right, then, Vito, welcome to class.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here.
Great.
Miss Julie, can I ask you a question about something I happened to see this week that I just didn't get at all?
Sure, of course.
So the other day I saw a picture. It looks like this. And it said, racism is a virus. I don't get it. I've never seen this racism virus before, and believe me, I know most of the viruses around here. I've asked around to see if anyone knows this virus. I've asked everyone I know. Chucky Chickenpox, Carrie Croup, Rebecca Rabies. No one knows who this guy is.
Oh, Vito, that's because that man isn't a virus. And when they talk about racism being a virus, it's not a virus the way you think of viruses. When people talk about something being a virus or going viral, it means it's something that can spread so quickly.
I like going viral like when I used to spread these babies around.
Vito, put those things away. You promised no viruses. You promised.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, Miss Julie, but can you go back and tell me more about what this racism thing is that's spreading?
Yeah, Vito, racism is when people judge someone or treat someone badly simply because of the color of their skin. And recently, Black people in particular have been really upset because for years and years, too many white people have judged them differently or treated them badly simply because their skin is black.
Judging somebody on their skin color? You humans are crazy. I mean, you could judge somebody on their hair or their cool glasses or hats that they wear or their awesome green outfits that they wear, but skin color?
I know, it makes absolutely no sense at all. And most of us, I hope most of us are trying to be much, much better about it. That's what Jesus would want. He would not want us judging anyone based on the color of their skin.
Not me, I don't judge. I must be better than all those other humans like you, but look at me and look at this picture of all my friends of different colors. Mike Measles is yellow, Paul Polio is green, Harry Hepatitis is purple, Rachel Rubella is pink, and Matt Mumps is brown. And look how green I am! All different colors, and I think we're all great. No judgment here.
That's super great that you don't that you don't judge on colors, but you've got to be really careful not to judge people in any way without knowing them better. I noticed all your friends are viruses. What about the bacteria?
Yeah, kind of next door neighbors.
Or the parasites?
Yeah,
Or the fungus among us?
kind of silly, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we all have to be careful not to judge. We all have to just learn to get to know one another better.
And I'm going to continue to try to do that, Miss Julie, because that's what God wants me to do, right?
Yeah, I see I've got my work cut out for me.
Well, Miss Julie, thanks for clarifying that one question, but I got one more for you. Will you answer it for me?
Of course I will be.
All right, this has been bothering me since I came in here.
Okay.
Who's this guy?
Vito, did you put a mask on that man?
Well, I thought he was maybe a superhero, so I thought I'd help out and give him a mask.
Well, would you mind removing the mask and then I'll tell you who he is.
All right, I think I can do that, Miss Julie.
Thank you, Vito. He's kind of a superhero. He's the man our church is named after. Our church is, what's the name of our church?
Fox Point Lutheran Church.
Yes, that is Martin Luther.
Martin Luther?
Uh-huh,
I think I remember hearing something about him once.
sure.
Well, you and I just got done talking about that racism thing, and Martin Luther was a guy that lived in history, and he tried to end racism and give equality for all, right?
Well, that was Martin Luther King Jr., and you're right, he was an amazingly great man who worked really hard to fight racism, but that is Martin Luther.
I'm never going to get this stuff. I'm never going to be a good Christian.
You will, you will. Now just hold on, I'll give you another chance, you can get this right.
Okay.
Do you have any idea when this man lived?
Well, I'm not trying to be mean, but his hairdo is quite interesting. Kind of like my dad's General Illness. Have you ever met my dad, General Illness, before?
I haven't. Do you have a picture of him?
Yeah, here he is.
Well, I'm not sure I exactly see the resemblance, but Martin Luther, I don't know how old your dad is. How old is General Illness?
The good general is, I think he's like 55 years old, maybe, so
Okay, so
probably around the same age.
Martin Luther is a little bit older.
How much older?
Martin Luther lived about 500 years ago, more than 500 years
He
ago.
was 500 years old?
You know, he lived that long
Oh.
ago, Vito, but a very, very important man. You know, Vito, I know you worry about being a good Christian and about becoming a good Christian, and I know you're pretty hard on yourself when you get answers wrong or when you don't do things just right. But that's why I want to tell you a little bit about Martin Luther. He's the perfect person to explain to you about the fact that we really can't be perfect enough. So let me show you this video. You want to watch?
Let's go for it.
All right, great.
This is the story of Martin Luther. He got up to some pretty adventurous things. He was kidnapped by knights on horseback, lived in disguise in a castle, and helped some nuns escape from a convent by hiding them in barrels. But as a young man, he was troubled by a deep sense that he wasn't right with God. Once, in a thunderstorm, a lightning bolt nearly struck him, and he thought he was going to die, and he cried out for help to one of the saints, saying rashly, "Save me, and I'll become a monk." He survived, and so, true to his word, he gave up his studies as a lawyer and became a monk. His friends and family said he was wasting his talent. In the monastery, he started reading the Bible. He discovered that it was God's mercy and love that was all that was needed to be right with God. And for the first time in his life, he found a deep peace with God. Luther was invited to be a lecturer at the University of Wittenberg. He taught through books of the Bible, and his lectures were popular. Even ordinary people from the town came along. In those days, the Catholic Church was telling Christians that their good behavior could earn them heaven. But Luther knew from the Bible that no amount of good works could earn you forgiveness. Not even the Pope was able to give forgiveness from God. Only God could do that. Luther saw that the church had left behind what the Bible taught and was even making things up for its own gain. He decided he must teach against these false ideas. He made his complaints public by nailing them to the place in town where people published important documents, the door of the castle church. He explained that it wasn't possible to buy God's forgiveness or to live a life that was good enough to deserve to know God. His writings showed that God wants to forgive the wrong we've done, and that this is only possible because Jesus, the Son of God, came to pay the punishment that our wrong deserved. Jesus did this as he died in our place. Luther's ideas quickly spread throughout Europe, thanks to a recent invention, the printing press. The Pope wrote a document saying that Luther had to take it all back, and if he didn't, he'd be treated as a heretic. Luther refused and publicly burned a copy of the Pope's letter. Luther's ideas shook things up religiously, politically, and culturally. He was soon summoned to stand before the emperor and answer for his supposed crimes of explaining what the Bible said. The emperor declared Luther an outlaw, banning his literature. And that's when he was rescued and went to live in disguise in a castle. Dressing in knight's clothing, he changed his name to Sir George and grew his hair and a beard, and spent his time translating the New Testament. Again, it was published widely, meaning ordinary people could read the Bible for the first time. Luther then secretly returned to Wittenberg. He continued to write books and translate the Bible. He also got married and had a family. Europe was buzzing with Luther's message about the Bible. Today, 500 years on, the truths of the Bible that Luther knew continue to impact millions of people. People who've come to know God personally, knowing the peace and forgiveness Jesus offers us. The forgiveness that Luther found is still available today. We can all be in a right relationship with God because of one man, the Lord Jesus Christ.
So you see, Vito, Martin Luther taught us that none of us can ever be perfect enough, no matter how hard we tried. And believe me, Martin Luther tried. We follow Jesus because we love God, and Jesus shows us the best way of knowing God and sharing God's love with others. But we don't love God and Jesus because we want to go to heaven. If we want to go to heaven and be with God, God says, great, come be with me, because he loves us unconditionally and he gives us his grace. He says, I want you to be with me if you want to be with me. So we're good, and we try to be good simply because we're filled with so much love that we want to share God's love with others. So never worry about not being perfect. Just do the best you can every day.
Well, thanks for teaching me about Martin Luther, Miss Julie, and I'm going to continue to try to be a better Christian.
I think there's a lot we can learn this summer. So Martin Luther is going to be in a different part of the church every week.
Every week?
Yeah, it gives you a chance to get to know the different parts of our church and,
Okay.
and what they're for and what we use them for. So obviously today he's right next to you. And my question is, Vito, do you know what room we're in?
Another question. I hope I get it right.
Don't worry if you don't. It's okay.
Well, I've been in this room before, and I think, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this right. It's the name room, right? Because of all the names on the walls.
Well, super good guess. Super good guess. Those names are actually books of the Bible.
Yeah, right here. There's Matthew, Mark,
Yeah.
Luke,
Yeah.
John, and...
There are 66 of them, so you don't have to count them all. But this room is actually the games room, and the decoration we've chosen is the books of the Bible. You want to try a game?
What? I love games, Miss
And
Julie.
don't worry, you don't have to get all the questions right, but I thought maybe you and the kids, we can challenge you and the kids to a game to see how many books of the Bible you know and how many books of the Bible the kids know. You ready?
Let's go for it.
All right, hold on. So this is Vito's Viral Challenge. And to help us, we have Agnes Angel. Can you say Agnes Angel fast? 4 times?
You said Agnes
Agnes Angel.
Angel. Agnes Angel.
No.
I couldn't even get one time. I'm never going to be good at this game, Miss
You
Julie.
will be just fine. So here's the game, and kids, play along and keep track of how many you get right. Vito, can you keep track of how many you get right?
I can count, Miss Julie.
I just never know. I'm learning about viruses, so you have to be patient with me too. Okay. No.
That's
In
right.
the sleeve.
All right,
in the
none of
sleeve.
these, babies.
In the sleeve.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready?
Ready.
Are you ready, kids? Okay. The game is book or no book. Is what I'm going to show you a book of the Bible or not? The first one is
Exodus.
Exodus. Book or no book, Vito?
Exodus. No book.
Oh, Agnes? Sorry, Vito.
Am I going to get any right?
Remember, don't be too hard on
All
yourself.
right.
Next one is
I know this one. I've seen this before. This is the palms tree.
oh, Vito. It's actually pronounced Psalms.
So it's not a tree?
It's kind of right in the middle of the Bible. No, it kind of looks like that, but no, it's not. Now, Psalms, is that a book of the Bible or not a book of the Bible?
I'm going to guess here, Miss Julie. You said it's not a tree, so I'm going to say book.
All right, and Agnes? Oh. Woohoo! She says yes. Good job, Vito. You got
That's one.
That's one. All right, next one. You read that?
The Romans.
Romans. Is that a book of the Bible or not a book of the Bible?
They were a group of people that used to live in history, right?
It's true.
So that's not a book. That's some people.
Agnes? Sorry, Vito. Do not be hard on yourself. You still have what? You have one.
I got one right?
One right. You have one right. Next.
Zero.
Next one.
Maxwell. Doesn't he make coffee?
Probably some good coffee. Book of the Bible or not?
Maxwell. That's a name. I'm going to say book of the Bible.
Agnes?
Again?
It's okay.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Maxwell? No? All right.
No, but that's why you're here. We're going to learn a
I guess
lot.
I'm going to keep learning and trying my best.
We're going to learn a lot this summer. Okay, this one. I bet you'll get this one.
Job. A lot of people have a job.
Well, actually, it looks like it's Job, but it's pronounced Job. It's about a man who had a really rough life in the beginning. Book of the Bible or not?
Well, you just said it was about a man who had a really difficult time, so I'm going to say book of the Bible.
Agnes?
Yes.
All right.
You
good
kind of
job.
gave me a clue on that one, Miss Julie.
Yeah, I'm going to speed through some of these. All right, this is another
What do we got
one.
next?
Are you cheating?
A little bit.
That's something we're going to work on too.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, we'll work on it.
Corin.
These are
I'm
long
going to try to sound it out. Corinthians.
Corinthian.
Pretty close.
Yeah. Book or not book? Kids, think about it. Book of the Bible or not?
I'm going to say no book.
Well, actually, if you go to weddings, they read verses from Corinthians. It is a book, right, Agnes? So she has to give you... It's okay, Vito. How many do you have right now?
I think 2 right.
All right, and kids, are you keeping
Better
track
than
of
0.
It's much better than
Hope
0.
you guys are doing better than me.
I'm sure they are. Well, I didn't mean... I'm sure you're all doing great. Okay, this one. No, sorry. I apologize, Vito. This one.
I forgive you, Miss Julie.
That's important. That's very important.
I know this one. This
Can
is...
you read it to the kids?
Yep, this is Genesis.
Uh-huh.
You ever hear any of their music?
Actually, I love Genesis.
Hold on. It's a good jam.
It is. Book or no book?
It's no book because that's a band.
It is a, well, Agnes,
Oh, that silly angel.
she's trying to give you points. Genesis is a band, and Phil Collins was great, but Genesis is actually the first book of the Bible.
First one here?
It's beginning, absolutely. If you opened it up, it'd be the very first book.
Oh, it's right here. Could I have been using this all along?
Yeah, well, and we'll read more of it this
All
summer.
right.
Okay,
I'll just keep getting better.
can you read this to the kids?
I got this one. Are you ready?
I am.
Proverbs.
Booker,
You know what verbs are?
I do, like walk, see, talk.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now this is Proverbs.
Well, actually, Vito, it looks like Proverbs, it's Proverbs. Book of the Bible or not.
I feel like every time you correct me that it ends up being a book of the Bible, so I'm going to say book of the Bible. Final answer.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Agnes?
The angel rings a bell.
Angel rings the bell, you did it. All right, one more. Well, actually, we have two more. You ready? So how many do you have?
1, 3.
Okay. And kids, are you keeping track? All right, here's a hard one. Can you read it for the kids?
I'm gonna try my best here. Ecclesiastes.
Well, it's kind of close. It's Ecclesiastes. Book of the Bible or not?
I don't think you're gonna trick me on this one. That's not a book of the Bible. That's a disease.
Well, I think you would know diseases.
You betcha.
Well, maybe it's a disease in your world, but in this world, Agnes,
Angel.
was Vito right?
Not again. I'm never gonna get this, Miss Julie.
You know, remember what we learned from Martin Luther? It's all about trying and no one needs to be perfect. Okay, last one. You're gonna get this one.
Last one.
You're gonna
All
get
right.
it. Ready? Can you read it for the kids?
No, I can't. I know that one. That's
You haven't
Noah.
lost your sense of humor.
No, it's always here.
Yeah.
That's who Superdy taught me about.
Right, correct. Book of the Bible.
Guy
or
with
not?
the animals and
Book of the Bible.
well, yeah, it's in the Bible, so it's a book of the Bible.
Well, that's a super good guess, but you know what? Agnes has to say.
But he is in the Bible, right?
He is in the Bible. He's actually in the book of Genesis. So it was a really
Genesis again.
Yeah, the music. It was a really good guess. So nice job, Vito. Agnes says good job.
Oh, thanks for ringing your bell, Agnes Angel.
How many did you end up with?
I think 3.
Oh, that's
It's
pretty
better
good.
than 0.
Well, that was our first viral challenge. And kids, I'm wondering if you were able to beat Vito. And we'll try another viral challenge next week.
Yeah, we're all still learning, right?
We are learning. And you know what, Vito? All these books of the Bible, you'll get to know more of them. And it's the way you learn in Sunday school, just bit by bit, store.
There it is.
There it is.
I
There it
could have used this the whole time.
And you didn't cheat. I'm proud of you. So in this way we do Sunday school, this is the games room. And we take a Bible story just one at a time. So that works out really well for you. And we study each story in a different room in a different way each week. So when we're in the games room, we study the story like Noah. We would study it with a game.
That sounds fun to me.
Yeah, so you'll learn more about the way we do Sunday school, and we'll learn more about the church every week.
Like Super D said, I got a lot to learn, right?
But you have a lot of time, and it looks like you have a lot of energy to learn it.
I've always been said I have a lot of energy.
You just have to use it the right way,
Yes.
in a good way.
I continue to do things in a good way. I try my best, Miss Julie.
For God and Jesus.
For God and Jesus.
Well, Vito, thank you so much for coming today. I think
Thanks for letting me be here.
you can be here any Sunday that you don't throw.
You want?
No, that you don't.
All
that
right,
you don't
all right.
throw the babies. But we're going to end today with a prayer from two very special Sunday school teachers that teach during the year every Sunday, Mr. Kelly and Miss Nancy. Do you want to pray with them?
I'd love to pray with you guys.
All right, here they are.
Boys and girls, Mr. Kelly, come join me. I haven't seen you for so long. You've all been in my prayers. Today, we're going to spend special times together. And let's start off. Let me put my Bible down. Let's start off with a little bit of stretching. Okay? All of us together now. Let's reach for the heavens and the earth and all the world around us. And again, one more time. God created the heavens and the earth, and he gave his only begotten Son, Jesus, for all of us. Isn't that wonderful? Just a joyful moment. Jesus also taught us how to pray. And prayer is a way of talking to God. So let me grab my Bible again. There are 2 locations in the Bible of the Lord's Prayer. Do you remember where they are? Anyone? I'll give you a hint. They're in the Gospels. Book of Luke 11:2 and Matthew 6:9. So together, let's do the Lord's Prayer. Hands together, eyes closed. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen. Again, that is our way of talking to God, and he hears all of our prayer. So on this joyful day, thank you for spending time together, and I hope to see all of you soon. Amen.
Well, thanks for that prayer by Mr. Kelly and Miss Nancy, and thanks Martin Luther for being here with us today, and Agnes Angel, I wish you would have rang that bell more, but all right. And thanks Miss, there it is, finally, maybe I got another one right. And thanks Miss Julie for continuing to teach me to be a better Christian, and
You're welcome, Vito.
well, thanks, and kids, I hope you got more right today than I did, and I hope to see you guys next week so that you can continue to help me being a better Christian. See you next
Bye.
time.
Have a great week. Bye.